Hello again and welcome again. Welcome back. Welcome to a new class, class number 67. Yes, sir. 67 classes. Well, not yet. We haven't started. Well, we're starting class 67 right now. We've just finished. Acabamos de terminar. We've just finished class number 66, which means that right now we're starting class 67. And I'm glad to see you back. I'm glad to see you here again. It's good to know that you're taking good advantage of this program. I'm really glad to know that you're profiting from every class we're giving. I'm delighted to see how well you are benefiting from what we do. So, shall we start? Okay, let's start on camera number 1. All right. Do you expect me to speak only English, or do you want me to speak Spanish sometimes? What do you expect me to do? What do you want me to do? Okay. Now, ladies, are you expecting a baby now? Were you expecting a baby last year at this time? Were you expecting a baby 2 years ago at this time of the year? Okay. To expect. Esperar con fundamento. Yes. Yo no espero que tengas problemas. I don't expect you to have any problems with this program. Really, most of the material that you will be exposed to, even at the advanced level, is material that you have probably seen at least once, and most likely several times, or many times. Or even it's material that you think you know, but probably you don't. Probably you don't, because to know something means the ability to spontaneously reproduce it in compromising situations. Compromising situations, or situaciones comprometidas. Okay, in compromising situations, very important, critical moments of communication in which the tools you have for communication in English need to be ready, at your hands, and eloquently or effectively deployed. Okay, desplegados, deployed. Can you eloquently or effectively deploy the essential tools for adequate or appropriate communication in the right moments when it's truly necessary, in the critical moments when you must express yourself well? I don't expect that you have that. I don't think that you have that type of mastery yet. Why? Because in my opinion, less than 1% of the people in this country have that level. Much less, even perhaps 0.1%. There are 45 million people in this country. 45 million, which means that 4.5 million is 10%, 450,000 is 1%, and 4,500 is 0.1%. Okay? And I think about maybe 10,000 people in this country have a level in which when they change from Spanish to English, they don't lose control, or they don't lose effectiveness in the important moments of communication in the two languages. Maybe 10,000 people, maybe 20, maybe 30,000 people, but it's less than 1%. I would be very surprised, and I'm 35 years observing this in the professional world, among doctors, lawyers, marketing people, general managers, technical people, financial people, industrial people, people in manufacturing, people in the tourism industry. Even in tourism, very few people can express themselves in Spain well in English. Only people who were born bilingual, brought up with a British mother and a Spanish father or similar. Excluding those people, very, very few. Very, very few. So, when you say, this is very easy. Esto es fácil. Esto empecé a los 13 años a ver estas cosas que esto estás diciendo. Of course. But you still don't know them. You still cannot transform this relatively basic concepts in grammar into quick, effective communication to solve problems, okay? You still can't do it because those 10,000 people I'm talking about, when they use English effectively, when they go to London or to Chicago or to Melbourne and they negotiate a contract in English, those people are not using grammar and vocabulary beyond this point. They're not. Practically 95, well, no, practically no. I'd bet that 95% of everything they say in these important negotiations are included in the beginners and intermediate levels of Bago en Inglés 4.0. Okay? 95% of everything we say is in basic books of grammar. 95% of everything we use of the vocabulary is vocabulary you probably knew before the age of 17 in English, at least passively. Actively, no. Active means you reproduce it, people understand you, and you use it effectively. All right. Now, do you expect me to continue talking? Do you expect me to stay here until 10 o'clock tonight? What do you expect from me? What are your expectations from this course? What do you expect? What do you expect from me? What do you expect from the other teachers? Do you expect us to give the best we can? Do you expect us to make an effort? And what do you think we expect from you? Do you think we expect the best from you? Do you think we expect you to do your best? My expectations. Do you want to know my expectations? What do I expect of you? Puedo decir of y from después de expect. ¿Quieres saber lo que yo espero de ti? Escucha. Do you want to know what I expect of you? Do you want to know what I expect from you? From you es más físico. ¿Qué es lo que yo espero que me des o me entregues? Ahora, cuando es figurativo o es mis expectativas de tu rendimiento, me gusta más of. What do I expect of you? I expect that you will make an effort. I expect you to persevere. I expect you to be this continuous and perseverant in watching this program. I expect you to keep your guard up and to not let your guard down. In boxing, you need to keep your guard up and don't let your guard down. Okay? So I expect you to do that. I expect you to study. I expect you to think about your English and to analyze yourself. I expect you to perform an honest self-analysis of your current abilities with English, your current skills with the English language, and even your current ability in general communication. Sometimes people are poor communicators in English because they are poor communicators in Spanish. Often it's a communication question and not necessarily a language question. What do I expect? I expect everything from you. And I hope you expect everything from me. Okay, I'll see you in a few minutes after our next teacher.
Hello, hello. It's nice to see you. Welcome. Thank you, Richard. My name is Fitz, and we're going to review your last class. We're going to review your last class with the help of a special guest, David.
Whatever you want.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Are you ready for some action?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. We're going to begin with questions using do you expect? Do you expect? So, do you expect you'll be late?
No, I don't expect.
Expect.
I don't expect.
Very good.
I'll be late.
And again, expect.
No, I don't expect I'll be late.
Very good. Very good. I don't expect. I don't expect I'll be late. How do you say that in Spanish?
No, espero que no voy a llegar tarde.
Okay, very good. Are you expecting a baby?
No, I'm not expecting a baby.
Very good. He's not expecting a baby. He's not expecting a baby. Okay, and in Spanish, how do you say that?
Estás esperando tener un hijo.
Okay. Did you expect to be here today?
Yes, I expected to be here today.
Beautiful. One more time. Expected. Very, very good. Again?
Yes, I expected to be here today.
Now, I want you to try this at home. In the past, I expected to be here today. I expected. Try it at home. a little more. Expected. I expected. Well done. Very good. David, did you expect to see me today?
Yes, I expected to see you today.
Very good. Very good. Did you expect to be on this program this week?
Yes, I expected to be on this program this week.
Very good. And one more time, on this program.
Yes, I expected to be on this program this week.
Very good. This program this week. So he expected to be on this program this week. Try it at home. This program this week. Okay, good. He expected to be on this program this week. Good. Okay. Are you expecting a lot of questions?
Yes, I'm expecting a lot of questions.
Very good. And one more time.
Yes, I'm expecting a lot of questions.
Very good. Now, very important here. I'm. Okay, pronounce at home. I'm expecting a lot of questions. He's expecting a lot of questions. Are you expecting a lot of questions? I hope so. Okay. Are you expecting a thunderstorm tomorrow?
No, I'm not expecting a thunderstorm tomorrow.
Very good. Are you expecting me to stand up?
No, I'm not expecting you to stand up.
Okay, now here. Are you expecting me to stand up? Are you expecting me to stand up? He's not expecting me to stand up. Okay? Are you expecting me to kill you?
No, I'm not expecting you to kill me.
Very good. He's not expecting me to kill him. Are you expecting me to kill you? No, I'm not expecting you to kill me. He's not expecting me to kill him. Okay, very good. Okay, are you ready for some more?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
ready.
Okay, now here we're going to practice to be bound to, something that is very, very certain.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Are you ready? Let's go. Do you think she'll know the answer?
She's bound to know the answer.
Very good. And how do you say that in Spanish for our students?
Es seguro que ya sabe la respuesta.
Very good. Okay, and one more time. Do you think she'll know the answer?
She's bound. She's bound to know the answer.
Very good. She's bound to know. She's bound to know the answer. Bound. Okay. Did you know that Paul and Beth have split up?
They are bound.
And in the past.
They were bound to split up.
They were bound to split up. And again, in Spanish for our viewers.
Es seguro que iban a separarse.
Okay, so did you know in the past that Paul and Beth have split up? They were bound to split up. They were bound to split up. Did you know that the Italians lost the football match?
Yes, Italians.
Or you could say they.
Yes, the Italians were bound to lose the football match.
Very good. And one more time.
Yes, the Italians were bound to lose the football match.
Okay. The Italians, or they were bound to lose the football match. They were bound to lose the football match. Try that at home. They were bound to lose the football match. Okay, well done. Very good. Another one. Do you think he'll be late?
Yes, he's bound to be late.
Very good. Do you think he'll be nervous?
Yes, he's bound to be nervous.
To be nervous. And again?
Yes, he's bound to be nervous.
Okay, now important here. He's bound to be nervous, and it's not nervous. He's bound to be nervous. Okay? Now, you're bound to practice, you're bound to study. Okay? Keep practicing, keep studying, and you're bound to improve. Thank you, and goodbye.
You wouldn't happen to know where camera 1 is, would you? I'm a bit disoriented today. I don't know what happened, but while you were with the other teacher, I had a strange. I got dizzy, and now I'm still feel a little dizzy. I know I'm supposed to move to camera 1, but I just can't remember where it is. You wouldn't happen to know by any chance where camera 1 is, would you? You wouldn't happen to know by any chance where camera 1 is, would you? You understand? You wouldn't happen to know by any chance where camera 1 is, comma. Would you? No sabrías por casualidad dónde está o dónde estará la cámara 1. You wouldn't, ¿verdad? You wouldn't happen to know. It's an interesting expression. Let's look at this expression, by any chance, by chance, and the verb to happen, pero no como ocurrir, como por casualidad. Camera 1. Ahí está ahí, ya lo sé. All right. Camera 1, I found camera 1. No sabrías por casualidad dónde está Pepe. You wouldn't know by chance, por azar. Literalmente es lo que decimos aquí. El azar es chance. Chance es oportunidad, posibilidad también. Pero también es el azar, chance. All right. You wouldn't know by chance where Pepe is. Fijaos que dice Pepe is, no where is Pepe, porque no es una pregunta. La pregunta es, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. De hecho, la frase es afirmativa. Whoa, negativa. You wouldn't know. It's a strange way of asking a question. Tú no sabrías por casualidad. You wouldn't know by chance where Pepe is. Would you? Y el would you al final también es opcional. You wouldn't know by any chance where Pepe is. Ahora, he dicho by any chance. He insertado any aquí. Vale, porque es más corriente. You wouldn't know by any chance? You wouldn't have by any chance a blue pen like this, similar to this one. Tú no tendrías por casualidad. You wouldn't. Okay. So, let's look at the components. You wouldn't have by any chance a pen like this one, would you? You wouldn't have by any chance a pen like this one, would you? You wouldn't be Belisario Segundez by any chance, would you? No, you're not. Okay, I didn't think so, okay? You wouldn't be Emiliano Zapata, would you? You look very similar to the famous Mexican revolutionary. You wouldn't be Emiliano Zapata by any chance, would you? Okay. You wouldn't know anyone by the name of Pedro Perez by any chance, would you? You wouldn't have a blue car by any chance, would you? ¿No tendrías por casualidad un coche azul? Hay uno fuera muy raro. You wouldn't be the owner by any chance of a blue car, would you? Okay, so by any chance. And it's always with the conditional. And it's always started in a negative form. Not would you know. Would you know by any chance? No. You wouldn't know, comma, by any chance, comma, a man by the name of Thomas Smith. You wouldn't know by any chance an author by the name of Bonald, Caballero Bonald. You wouldn't know by any chance an author by that name. You wouldn't know a famous liberator by the name of Bernardo O'Higgins, would you? You wouldn't know by any chance a famous person in history by that name, would you? By any chance. Ahora bien, let's look at an alternative, very common as well. You wouldn't know by any chance where Pepe is. Let's go back to the first sentence. No sabrías por casualidad dónde está Pepe. You wouldn't know by any chance where Pepe is, would you? Now, let's look at an alternative. You wouldn't happen to know where Pepe is, would you? You wouldn't happen to know. Curiosa forma de hablar. No sé si en español se podría decir, no sucedería que supieras dónde está Pepe. All right? You wouldn't happen, suceder. You wouldn't happen to know where Pepe is, would you? These two identical, these two alternative forms that mean the same thing are extremely common in everyday speech. You wouldn't happen to have a felt tip pen, would you? Excuse me, what did you say? You wouldn't happen to have a felt tip pen, would you? A felt tip pen, yeah. Here, this is a felt tip pen. Yeah. Punto de fieltro, o sea, realmente es rotulador. Finísimo, pero rotulador. It's a very fine point. Felt, fieltro, tip, punta. Fingertips, the tip of my nose. the tip of my tongue. Ay, lo tengo en la punta de la lengua. It's on. En inglés decimos está en la punta de mi lengua. It's on the tip of my tongue. The name of that person. Laura, I can't remember. But her name is on the tip of my tongue. Tip. And this is a felt tip pin. Okay? The tip of the iceberg. La punta del iceberg. The tip of the iceberg. You wouldn't happen to know, or you wouldn't happen to have a felt tip pin, would you? I need a felt tip pin. You asked the right man. Servidor. Here you are, a felt tip pin. Oh, my God. Thank you. You're my salvation. Okay? Yeah. You wouldn't have by any chance. Hey, yeah. Belisario. Yeah. You wouldn't have by any chance a felt tip pin, would you? Not right now, but I have a friend who has one. If you can wait for about 3 minutes, I'll go to his office. You wouldn't have by any chance a felt tip pin, would you? You wouldn't happen to have a felt tip pin, would you? By the way, Richard, yes? You wouldn't happen to have I like your cup. It's cool. You wouldn't happen to have another one, would you? I don't know. I'll ask Maria, the floor manager. She knows. Are there any cups like this? Are there more? Yeah? Sorry. I have the only one. Come on. Surely Maria wouldn't by any chance have a cup at home, would she? You know, that I'll buy it from her. I want that cup as a souvenir of this course. Maria wouldn't happen to have a cup like this, would she? She wouldn't happen to have a cup like this, would she? E incluso las dos alternativas las podemos unir. Escuchan. No tendrías por casualidad una taza igual que esta. You wouldn't happen to have by any chance. Totalmente redundante, pero se dice. You wouldn't happen to have by any chance a cup like this one, would you? Okay. No sucedería que tuvieras por casualidad. Suena rarísimo. You wouldn't happen to have a cup by any chance like this one, would you? Okay. By any chance? You wouldn't have by any chance. You wouldn't know by any chance, or you wouldn't happen to know, you wouldn't happen to have, etc. And I hope with the other teachers you can consolidate this interesting and very common form. So, I'll be back after our sponsors. Okay. You know, I happen to know a person, sucede que conozco, o sea, por casualidad conozco, I happen to know a person who has the same problem you have. Yeah. You wouldn't happen to know a fellow by the name of Hilario Monteagudo, would you? You wouldn't happen to know a person. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he has a problem. It happens. Sucede que tiene. It happens that he has the same problem you have. You wouldn't know him by any chance, personally. You wouldn't know him by any chance, would you? No le conocerías por casualidad, ¿verdad? You wouldn't know him by any chance. You wouldn't happen to know him, would you? In fact, he lives in the same general vicinity that you live. He lives in the same general area. Vicinity. ¿A que no sabías esa palabra? Que no es vecindario, it's zona. He lives in the same area you do. You wouldn't happen to know him, would you? Hilario. You wouldn't happen to know him. Okay, you don't. All right, let's listen to our next teacher, and then I'll come back for my final segment.
Thank you very much, Richard. My name is Alberto Alonso, and you're watching Vaughan Inglés 4.0. That's right, this is the most complete course ever in the history. I hope you're listening to the radio. Espero que estáis escuchando la radio. I hope you're following along on the internet and with the materials and the workbooks. Yeah, it's really important. That's the idea, because the course is not only a television course. It's a complete course, and it has everything you can possibly need. So no excuses. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to introduce my very special guest. Now, this is not the first time that she has been my student. Yeah, she's been my student before, but on the radio. She's never been my student here on TV. So I'm very happy to have her with us here today on TV. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Isabel. How are you, Isabel?
Hello, fine.
All right. Now, are you nervous? This is your first time on television.
No, I'm not nervous.
Okay, you'll be fine. Just be yourself.
Yes, of course.
Okay, and if you make a mistake, it's okay. It's no problem. That's why you're in an English class. If you
Okay.
didn't make mistakes, then we would be in different seats. You could sit here and teach me, right? Okay.
Okay.
All right. So ask me what we're going to look at today. ¿Qué vamos a mirar?
What are we going to look at today?
Good. What do you want to know?
I want to know what we are looking today.
Casi. What we are going to look at today. Una vez más.
What we are looking with. No, sorry.
Don't worry.
What we are going to look today.
Falta el at y lo tienes.
Okay.
Vamos a empezar de nuevo, porque siempre
Okay.
cuando te lías es más fácil. So ask me what we're going to look at today. Directa.
What are we are going to look today?
Okay,
What are
one more
we-
time. Y no me has puesto el at. ¿No te gusta el at?
What are we going to look at today?
Eso es la pregunta. Que lo hiciste bien la primera vez. Ahora la indirecta. What do you want to know?
I want to know what we are going to look at today.
Perfect. Okay, good. You got it. Now, we're going to look at something that's por casualidad. Now, how do you say casualidad in English? Do you know in your house? ¿Lo sabéis en casa? ¿Lo sabéis? Do you know it?
I know it, but now I have a doubt.
Okay. All right, well, try. Tell me. She said,
Help me, Alberto.
okay, no problem. We say coincidence.
Coincidence.
All right, not casualty. Casualty es alguien que se muere. There were 50 casualties in the accident, right? So we say, primero es un amigo falso. Okay, it's a coincidence. Pero eso es una casualidad. Estamos mirando la frase por casualidad. Entonces, ¿cómo
Just in
dirías?
case.
No, just in case es por si acaso. Ok, bueno, vamos a mirarlo. Por casualidad es by chance. Okay, by chance. Would you know by chance if Paco was here? Ahora, eso es por casualidad. Pero vamos a mirar otra forma. Y esto es to happen to know. So, la estructura es, would you happen to know if Paco was here? Okay, would you happen to know? Esto es muy común decirlo delante de algo si no sabes si la persona. Por casualidad, ¿sabes? Would you happen to know what time the meeting begins? Por casualidad, ¿sabes a qué hora empieza la reunión? Okay, so we can say by chance. Bueno, te voy a decir yo uno con by chance y quiero que tú me lo dices con happen to know. Happen como pasar. O happen to lo que sea. Es el infinitivo después.
Okay.
Okay? By chance, you know Tim. ¿Cómo se dice? Pues por casualidad conozco a Tim.
Would you happen to know Tim?
Muy bien, eso es la pregunta. Perfecto. ¿Lo habéis dicho bien en casa? Would you happen to know Tim? ¿Por casualidad conoces a Tim? Perfecto. Ok, ¿cómo se dice? Sí, por casualidad le conozco.
Yes, by chance I know him.
Yeah, by chance. Or, también, eso está bien, pero vamos a concentrar con el happen to, porque para mí es más común. La verdad es que se puede usar los dos. O sea, sí, por casualidad le conozco.
Yes, I happen to know him.
Perfect. Okay, would you happen to, la pregunta, would you happen to know, would you happen to go, cualquiera. Yes, I happen to know. Okay, good. Let's try another one. By chance, ¿cómo se dice estallar antes de empezar? Estallar.
To blow out?
Okay, to blow up es explotar. También to go off es sonar y estallar. Okay, an alarm goes off, a bomb goes off. Okay, entonces, by chance, were you there when the bomb went off?
I wasn't there when the bomb went off.
Okay, how do you say, por casualidad estaba allí cuando estalló la bomba?
By chance I was there when the bomb went off.
Okay, dámelo con el happen también. Pero bien,
I happened to be there.
ahora sí.
I happened to be there when the bomb went off.
Yeah, eso es. I happened to be there when the bomb went off. Okay? I happened to be there on September 11th in New York. I happened to be there por casualidad, no porque lo planifiqué. I happened to be there, unfortunately. Right? Okay, te voy a hacer. You want to know, vamos, porque como te he dicho, lo haces en preguntas, por ejemplo, en una ciudad, si estás haciendo turismo, if you're sightseeing, you can do it, you can use it in a city. This is a very practical. So, vamos a ponerlo con, yo te voy a decir, you want to know where the hospital is. ¿Cómo dirías a alguien? Por casualidad, ¿sabrás dónde está el hospital?
Would you know by any chance where the hospital is?
Good, y muy bien. Es una pregunta indirecta. Así que es muy importante que miramos esto, because would you happen to know es la pregunta. ¿Ok? Pero te lo acabo de decir. Dámelo con happen to. Sí, por casualidad, ¿sabrás dónde está el hospital?
Will you know?
Would you?
Would you know where the hospital?
Ponme el happen ahí dentro.
Would you know where?
Would you happen to know?
Would you happen to know where the hospital is?
Eso es. Y eso es muy común. Me imagino por la calle y dice, excuse me, sir, would you happen to know where the hospital is? Y eso es por casualidad. ¿Sabes dónde está el hospital? Ok, vamos a ver qué hora es. Por casualidad, ¿sabes qué hora es? Vamos con el happen to, ok. Quiero practicar esta estructura porque no es muy común para gente que no es angloparlante. Okay.
Would you happen to know what time it is?
Perfecto. Y otra vez lo has hecho perfecto. Es la pregunta indirecta. Would you happen to know what time it is? Not what time is it. Porque la pregunta viene en la primera parte de la frase. Right? Ok.
All right.
¿Dónde trabaja ella? ¿Por casualidad sabes dónde trabaja ella?
Would you happen to know where she works?
Yeah.
She usually works.
No, or where she works. It's fine. Would you have? ¿Por casualidad sabes dónde trabaja? So one more time.
Would you happen to know where she works?
Sí, pues por casualidad. ¿Casualidad de qué? Conozco dónde trabaja.
Yes, I happen to know where she works.
Perfect, yeah. Entonces, es bueno siempre mirar la pregunta y la respuesta. Si sabes preguntar y también dar respuesta. So, would you happen to know where she works? Yes, I happen to know where she works. Right? No, where does she work? Porque otra vez, ¿es una pregunta?
Indirecta.
Muy bien, muy bien. Ok, how do you say, por casualidad, ¿sabes cuánto tiempo llevan viviendo aquí? ¿O cuánto tiempo viven aquí?
Would you happen to know how long have they have been
Eso.
living here?
Eso es, porque es indirecto y me lo has dicho tú. Una vez más, lo tienes perfecto.
Would you happen to know how long they have been living here?
Perfect. Okay? Keep studying. Would you happen to know English? No, por casualidad no lo vas a saber. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Okay, we're going to do my favorite part, translation lists. These sentences are becoming a bit complicated, okay? And sometimes strange, especially in Spanish. Discontinuar is not really a word in Spanish, but I think you'll understand that. Let's go to camera one. Okay, number one. Eso va contra la política de la compañía. That goes against company policy. Company policy. La política de la empresa. Company policy. Company policy. That goes against company policy. That goes against. ¿Se pronuncia? Against. In contra de o contra. That goes against company policy. Me lesioné la espalda en el accidente. Yeah. I injured my back in the accident. I hurt my back is the same. I hurt my back in the accident. I injured. Aseguraros de terminar bien la palabra. Injured. I injured my back in the accident. Which is more serious? If a person says to me, I hurt my back in the accident, I said, well, are you okay? If the person says, I injured my back in the accident, I said, oh, how serious was it? Injured sounds just a bit, maybe 10% or 20% more serious than hurt. Okay? I injured my back means probably I require physical therapy or perhaps medical treatment. I hurt my back, maybe in a question of time, I'll be okay. I injured my back in the accident. Ahora, escucha bien. Quiero introducir progresivamente la nueva organización. O sea, por fases. I want to phase in the new organization. I want to phase in the new organization. Be careful, because here's a word. Phase is fase. Phase. Face is cara. Okay, now, this is important, because if you can't say la S o la Z, lo que yo llamo zumbido, como el zumbido de un mosquito, phase. If you can't say that, don't avoid the word. Avoid the word. Okay? This morning, I was talking with a person in front of a group of people. The person was an English teacher, a Spanish person, but she's an English teacher and her English is very good. She speaks quite well. and we were talking about a certain subject, and she asked me, oh, what's the prize? And I said, well, there isn't a prize. She said, really? No, there isn't a prize. Well, I said, no, there's no prize. I said, anda, es gratis. I said, no, it's not free. Well, you said there isn't a prize. Prize means premio. She was trying to say, ¿cuál es el precio? What's the price? And she was saying, what's the prize? And I completely misunderstood her. And I'm an English teacher. I'm living in Spain for 35 years. And I completely, she lost me completely. So, face is cara, con F. Phase, PH, y con S, no C al final. Phase es una fase. Y si no podéis decir phase, then I recommend stage, etapa, stage, stage, stage. So, now the verb to phase doesn't mean anything. Now the verb to phase in is a very important verb in the world of business, in the professional world, and industrial world, and financial world. To phase in means to introduce in stages, not all at the same time. De golpe, como dirías aquí. All at the same time. Sometimes there are certain systems in which it's not recommendable to introduce or to implement the system all at once, all at the same time. It's better to implement the new system or the new procedure or process slowly, by phases, por fases. And that's to phase in the new policy, to phase in the new procedures, to phase in, estazione, poison, como dicen los franceses o los italianos, phase in the new system. And when you phase in the new system, well, you need to phase out the old system, okay? So we have here, quiero introducir progresivamente la nueva organización. I want to phase in the new organization. Entonces, quieres descontinuar progresivamente la antigua. So, you want to phase out the old one. Yes, I want to phase in the new one, and I want to phase out the old one. Okay, maybe we'll come back to this tomorrow. Los fines de semana son para mí, o para mí son sagrados. Weekends for me are sacred. Sacred. There are two words for sagrado in English, holy and sacred. La Sagrada Biblia, las Sagradas Escrituras, the Holy Bible, the Holy Scripture. All right? Holy. And sacred is the Latin word. Okay? Sacred. Okay? And we say, los fines de semana para mí, we don't say holy, because holy is sagrado de verdad, santo. Sacred can be used figuratively or non-religiously, sacred. Very, very important for me. So, weekends for me are sacred. Tengo ganas de acostarme. I feel like going to bed. Feel like, más gerundio siempre, I feel like, me apetece. ¿Me apetece? No me apetece continuar. I don't feel like continuing. Me apetece ir a la cama. I feel like going to bed. Tengo ganas de beber más agua. I feel like drinking some more water. No tengo ganas de continuar esto. I don't feel like going on. I feel like stopping. Okay? I to feel like, plus the gerund. Le mandaron al extranjero en cuanto él supo suficiente inglés para apañarse. They sent him. Se le mandaron al extranjero. They sent him al extranjero? Yes. They sent him abroad. They sent him abroad. En cuanto supo suficiente inglés para apañarse. As soon as he knew enough English to get by. They sent him abroad as soon as he knew enough English to get by. Okay. El fin no justifica los medios. Oh, okay. The end, el fin, lo mismo. The end doesn't justify the means. Escrito means. The end doesn't justify the means. And that's true. Almost always it's true. The end doesn't justify the means. I'll be back to close this program in a few minutes after our next teacher.
Thank you, Richard. Hello, everyone. I'm Natasha, your teacher, as you probably already know. And today I'm here with David, or David in English. How are you, David?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Here, are you David or David?
Whatever you want.
Do you want to be like an English class? Do you
Yeah,
want your
come
name to
on.
be David?
Yeah, let's
Okay.
be English.
We can choose another name if you want.
No, it's okay.
How are you? Are you excited to be here?
Yes, very excited. Yes,
Yeah? Did
I
you
was-
study a lot for this class?
Yes, quite a few. Yes,
Quite
I
a
did.
bit.
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit.
Okay.
Quite a bit, because
Quite a
few
bit.
is for countable.
Ah,
and you
okay.
need quite a bit. Okay.
Okay, quite a bit.
Okay, very good. Okay, as you know, we're going to review your vocabulary of the day, and then we're going to do a translation list. Okay. But before we do the translation list, let's have a look at your 5 words of the day. Okay. Okay, first word, I'll say it in Spanish, okay? Refrescante. How do you say refrescante in English? Very good. Refreshing. Refreshing, as if it were with an I at the beginning. Refreshing. Repeat. Very good. Now let's get David to repeat as well.
Refreshing.
Refreshing. And I want to hear that
Refreshing.
G.
Refreshing.
Perfect. Refreshing, okay? With the G at the end. Okay, second word. It's marioneta. How do you say this? Very good. Puppet. Puppet with an accent in the first syllable, okay? Puppet, as if it were really with an A. Repeat. Very good. Now let's see if David can say it just as well as you just did.
Puppet.
Puppet. Perfect. One more time.
Puppet.
Perfect. Okay, the next word is tornillo. How do you say tornillo? Very good. Screw. Screw. Repeat. Very good. Like a snake, okay? Screw. One more time. Very good. Now let's get David to say this word.
Screw.
Very good. Screw.
Screw.
Very good. Very good. You can tell, I can tell he's studied a lot, okay? The next word is habitación y pensión completa. How do you say this? Very good. Room and board. Room and board. One more time. Very good. Now let's get David to say this as well.
Room and board.
I can't correct you on anything today.
Okay, not yet.
Okay. And then the last word is materias primas. How do you say this in English? Very good. Raw materials, okay? Be careful with the word raw, okay? Raw materials. One more time. Very good. Okay, let's get David to say this last word, and let's see if he says it as well as he said all the other words.
Raw materials.
Very good. I can't correct David on anything, okay? Very good job,
Thank you.
okay, on the vocabulary. Okay, as you know, we're going to do the translation list now, okay? I'm going to say the sentence in Spanish, and you and David have to say it in English, obviously, okay? Remember to say things out loud, very important, and try to work on your pronunciation. That's extremely important, okay? Try to listen to the way I say things and try to imitate me, okay? All right, let's start with the first sentence, okay? Let's see. The first sentence is for David. Are you ready?
Ready.
Eso va en contra de la política de empresa. How do we say this?
That goes against company policy. Police company.
No, company policy.
Company policy.
Very good. One more time.
That goes against company policy.
Very good. That goes against company policy. Be careful because it's not the company policy, okay? It's company policy, no article, okay? All right, the next one is for you at home, okay? Me lesioné la espalda en el accidente. How do you say this? Very good. I hurt my back in the accident. Or, very good. I injured my back in the accident. Either one is fine, okay? Now let's ask David the following sentence. Are you ready?
Ready.
Quiero introducir progresivamente la nueva organización. How do we say this?
I want to first
To phase in.
To phase.
Como fase. Phase
Okay,
in.
I want to phase in the new organization.
Very good. I want to phase in the new organization. Okay, the next one is for you at home and it's very similar, okay? Entonces, quieres descontinuar progresivamente la antigua. Very good. Then you want to phase out the old one. Then you want to phase out the old one. To phase in and to phase out, okay? Good job. Okay, the next one is for David. Are you ready?
Ready.
Okay, los fines de semana para mí son sagrados.
Weekends are sacred for me.
Okay, or weekends for me are sacred.
Okay, weekends for me are sacred.
Very good pronunciation. Weekends for me are sacred. Very good. Okay, the next one is for you at home. Okay, tengo ganas de acostarme. Tengo ganas de acostarme. Very good. I feel like going to bed. Okay, I feel like going to bed. We don't really say I feel like lying down, okay, like you would in Spanish. We would translate it to going to bed, ir a la cama, okay? All right, the next one is for David. Are you ready?
Ready.
Are you excited about the next sentence?
Yes, very excited.
I can see it in your face, okay? Le mandaron al extranjero en cuanto supo suficiente inglés para apañarse.
He was sent abroad.
Oh, they sent him abroad in the active,
Okay.
yeah?
They sent him abroad as soon as he knew enough English to get by.
Very good. I'm very proud of David. Very, very, very good. To get by, apañarse, okay? To get, salir del paso, to get by. Very, very good. I'm very happy with your sentence, okay? The next one is for you at home, okay? A juzgar por su aspecto, yo diría que está desesperado. How do we say this? Very good. Judging by his appearance, I would say that he's desperate, okay? Desperate. 2 syllables, okay? Desperate. Desperate, okay? Not desperate, okay? Desperate, okay? Let's ask David the next sentence. Are you ready?
Ready.
Okay. El fin no justifica los medios.
The ending?
The end.
Ending.
The end.
The end doesn't justify means.
The end doesn't justify
the means.
the means. Very, very good. Now let's get David to repeat.
The end doesn't justify the means.
Very good. The end doesn't justify the means. Very good. The next one, okay? For you at home. Creo que ha habido un malentendido. Very good. I think there's been a misunderstanding. I think there's been a misunderstanding. Very good. The next one is for David. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
No me importan los problemas de Oriente Medio.
I don't care about the problems in the Middle East.
Very good. I don't care about the problems in the Middle East. The next one is for you at home, okay? The last one. Cuanto antes, mejor. Cuanto antes, mejor. Very good. The sooner, the better. The sooner, the better, okay? Remember to put the article, the sooner, the better. Okay, that's the end of the translation list. Thank you very much, David. You did a great job.
Thank you.
And thank you at home, okay? Remember to study, to keep on practicing, and to review everything for the following class. See you. Bye.
Okay, one more class finished. Now listen, you need to do a lot of things at the advanced level. It's very difficult to progress. It's very difficult to progress or to make progress when you are already at a relatively advanced level. It requires much more work, much more perseverance, much more attention than for beginners or intermediate students. First, you have to improve your ear tremendously, because a person who doesn't understand the first time, every time, is enormously handicapped, no matter how well you speak. Okay, but also at the advanced level, you need to learn the nuances, los matices, of many expressions, many words, and many structures. And so the language expands como un embudo que de repente hay que echar mucha agua para que siga subiendo. Ese embudo porque se abre radicalmente. That's where you are now, in the big part of the funnel. Good luck. See you tomorrow.